So now we're going to move on to manifesting our mindset. So we talked about thoughts, and now we're talking about our mindset, our being, how we're going to put this into play. And we're going to move on to sorry about the phone in the background, a blooming growth mindset. And then for this one, it's going to be Latasha Gatling from Mommy Morebucks. So Miss Gatling is going to take us into this next segment. And remember, I'm just asking that we be present and open. Miss Gatling is all yours.
Thank you so much, Dr. Holden. Let me tell y'all got me so amped. Y'all been with me to the gym. Y'all been with me to the shower. I cannot turn this off. I'm just so grateful. So before I even get started, I want to thank Modern Mom on the Move, Brittany Gonzalez, and her crew for doing this. Sometimes you don't know what you need until you get it. And because the way that this pandemic is, I'm telling you, we need this, okay? So let me give y'all a little bit of background about who I am before I get started. My name is Latasha. I am from South Carolina. That's where I was born and raised, in Orangeburg, South Carolina, for about 8 years, about 7 years. And then I moved to the Bronx, New York. And I moved from New York in 2017 because God had been telling me since 2013 I needed to move to Maryland. I thought I was moving to be closer to family, but it was so crazy. I didn't even move near them. They're like an hour away from me. So I moved to a location where I don't know anybody. I had never heard of Prince George's County. I knew about the DMV area, but I didn't know all that it had to offer. And as the time kept going by, I realized he was like, this is where Mommy Morebucks needs to be because you are going to meet some awesome mompreneurs. All right, yep, Columbia's not that far. That's right down the road. Yeah, he's like, you're going to meet some awesome entrepreneurs, mompreneurs, and you need to be in this area because you're going to bloom where you are planted. And that's what the bloom and growth mindset is about. So I got 2 rules for y'all. Number one, this is a safe space. So if at any time I go over anything and you want to comment, I can see the comments at the bottom. Please feel free to speak on it, okay? Please feel free to share. This is a safe space and it's all about healing. And like it was mentioned in the very beginning, it doesn't matter where you are in your journey. That's why I talk about being blooming where you are planted, because that means you can start today with what you have to get to where you want to be. You have to believe that it's for you and start working towards it where you are. You don't have time to wait to get the right money, time, car, whatever. What's for you is for you, point blank, period. And my second rule, yes, is that this is interactive, okay? So when I ask y'all questions and stuff, please put it up in the chat. I can see it. If there's anything else that y'all need from me, just say it here. Thank you. I actually shared my slides because I didn't want to have any issues. I wanted to make sure that y'all can see them. And then the good thing about it is y'all will be able to go over these at any time. But I do ask that you go over them with me because I go a little more into detail than people necessarily would. And there may be some edges snatched. This is a warning, but it's with love. They'll grow back. I promise. Okay. So, like I said, I moved to this area in 2017 and I have 3 kids. I'm also married. I've been married since 2013, but I've known my husband for since 1996. I'm not even doing the math. So it's so crazy because when we had our daughters, the first one, I didn't know if I was having a boy or a girl. We waited. And when I had her, I had already made a promise to myself. If I ever had a daughter, I was not going to relax my hair anymore. So when the daughter came out, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to relax my hair anymore. Now, my hair was in the middle of my back. People loved it. Whenever I went and go, oh, you look like a model. You're beautiful. My hair fell out because of postpartum shedding, which I know some of you probably have experienced. I felt ugly because I was like, I could gain weight. I could get acne. Please don't let me lose my hair. So I had to cut my hair from the middle of my back because it got tangled up in a knot to about this long. Yes. And oh, thank you. And it was so crazy because I was just so self-conscious. I had never had my hair natural in decades. I never had it natural as an adult, so I didn't know what to do or how to feel. And I didn't have any support there from people who were natural to be like, girl, you'll be fine. I was done, y'all. But then to be able to see that my daughter started paying attention to my hair, she got older. And then I had another daughter 2 years later, and we're all natural in here. It was just worth it. It was just worth it to have the mindset of when I have daughters, I'm going to be natural. I didn't realize how powerful that was. So I just wanted to share that to give you a bit of who I am. All right. Next slide, please. Thank you. All right. So I know y'all see this picture of Deborah Cox. Whenever I think about mindset, I hear her song, How Did We Get Here? Nobody's supposed to be here. Nobody's supposed to be living in a place where you have negative mindset. Okay. It is just so crazy the way that we think about ourselves when we don't even know ourselves. We start from little girls not believing in ourselves or thinking that we have to change and look a certain way and be a certain way and speak a certain way because of what we are fed through the media. Next slide, please. I don't know if y'all really understand the power of mindset and how we are basically gaslit by the media. They show us so many different things that it winds up becoming like a plant in us and it grows too. So now I'm giving you the choice of choosing what you want to grow. Our ancestors have been wet nurses, cooks, doctors, midwives, and we have relived everything that they have endured through countless books and films and through our treatment in society. If you don't believe me, just look back to the 90s and the way that these video girls were going, wearing what they were wearing and looking the way they were looking. I rest my case. In my childhood, there was a void of powerful, accomplished Black women. The only one I can really remember was Claire Huxtable. And if you look at me and look at her, we don't look alike, okay? And I didn't think that I could attain the stuff that she attained. I didn't want to be a lawyer. I wanted to be a doctor. And then when you look at Cliff Huxtable, he's old. He's a man. So there was no connection there for me. The limited perspective aids in the plot for women of color to take over the role of suffering and silence from the previous generations, using our energy to take care of others and not knowing how to express how we feel or understand how to make ourselves a priority. I want y'all to drop a 1 in the chat if you have a problem with making yourself a priority. I'm dropping my own 1 right here. There have been times where I know I have been guilty of knowing that I'm overwhelmed and overextended, but I will still do for the family, then get mad at them because I had to do for them. Shame. I'm shame, y'all. But this is a safe space, so I'm not going to say shame. All right. So, honestly, most women live their lives doing the best they can with what they have and with what they know. So, each of us have our own history of traumas and dreams. And when you think of it, do you want to stay this way and then wish that you've done things differently? Can you imagine? This is 2021. Imagine 20 years from now when people are talking about the things they've accomplished and how happy they've been. And you're there talking about, the pandemic came and just washed away all my dreams. I couldn't do nothing. They're going to be looking at you like it's 2041. There was nothing else you could do ever again. So the pandemic just took you completely out. Now you're here complaining and living on a land of regret. I don't want a house on the street of regret. I'm sorry. And I don't want y'all to have one either. That's a very lonely place. And I know plenty of older women in their 60s, 70s, and 80s who are living there. Yes, I see all the ones. I definitely do. But I want y'all to fully understand that it's not our fault. I want y'all to look at these pictures that I have up here. How many of y'all know the story of the Black woman on the left that has the face cover on? Ironic that she has a face cover on, right? Well, her name is Anastasia. She lived in Brazil and was an enslaved African woman. When she refused to allow the slave owner to violate her, he punished her by forcing her to wear an iron mask. She wore it until she died, and she is well known in the Black communities of Brazil as a heroine and is considered a saint. When I saw this, I said, I gotta share this because this is not the type of history that we hear about, especially in America as Black women. What we see is usually what is on the right. We see Mammy taking care of the white people, raising their babies, giving away that breast milk, putting their kids to the side because the white baby needs them more. That's what we're used to seeing, and we're internalizing that. So can you imagine how much this trauma is embedded in our DNA because of this? We don't hear about Anastasia. We hear about Mammy. So I want y'all to fully understand. Next slide, please. I want y'all to fully understand the role that we play and what goes into our mind. There were times when, of course, we couldn't control it, but today we have better ways. We have social media and we have platforms like this where we get together with all of this Black girl magic and we come through, okay? Now, I'm gonna let y'all know though, things haven't always been bad. When we come through and show the world who we truly are, it's beautiful. Movies like Waiting to Exhale and magazines like Jet, Ebony, and Essence kept a fire sparked in me that I could be something better than the neglect that I suffered and the environment of lack that I was reared in. I want y'all to drop a 2 in the chat if you grew up in an environment of lack. If you don't know what that means, a lot of people talk about abuse, right? They've been physically hit, they've been emotionally abused, financially abused. Some of us have been neglected. That's like leaving me in the corner and letting the dust settle on me and not even coming back to check on me. And I will share, I was one of those people that was neglected. My mom dropped me off at my grandmother when we came up to New York. Didn't tell my grandmother we were coming. So I was basically the brunt of um that anger that my grandmother had. She didn't hit me, but she also didn't check on me. I have an uncle that's 2 years older than me. She spoiled him, took care of him, and I would be in need of underwear. I would be in need of food. I would be in need of clothing. If my mother didn't bring it, I didn't have it. And I'm gonna tell y'all, most of the time I didn't have it. I had to actually rely on the kindness of strangers. I had a lady who upstairs, she lived upstairs on the top of me, and she would make sure I ate. I could go anywhere that her and her kids went because she was a safe space. And she told me, she said, when I met you at 9 years old before my kids came up from South Carolina, I just knew you were special. That's why I walked up to you and asked you if you would mind coming and playing with my kids. And I remember that. And because of that lady, I met my husband. That's another story I have to tell another day. But if it wasn't for her taking me to where I went, I would have never met him. So God don't be forgetting about y'all, I'm telling you. And I want y'all to look up childhood emotional neglect because it's real. And a lot of people deal with it and they don't know what it means. This makes you codependent. This makes you not trust people. And it makes you take on overwhelming burdens and wanting to be seen because you feel like, you know what? Nobody ever pays me any attention. Let me get out there and get some attention. And you might get it in the wrong way. So childhood emotional neglect. Another thing I want y'all to understand is that a lot of us haven't been taught how to communicate. And that makes you feel even less than because you don't know how to set boundaries. You don't know how to speak up for yourself. So when you got that friend that comes by all the time, she wants to lay on your couch and eat up all your food, and she's being disrespectful because your spouse is there, or your partner is there, and she's wearing inappropriate things, and you're telling her you don't like it, but she's not listening. That's you suffering. And you don't have to suffer in silence. I'm telling you, your frustration with this will come out in different ways that will be emotional. It can be that you snap at other people. It can be that when you're at work, you're not at your best. And people can see this and feel this. Energy is real. And people won't want you around them. Like, drop a 3 in the chat if you are guilty of going places with the wrong energy because you're uncomfortable, because you didn't set boundaries. You're out at this club that you know you didn't want to be at. Now you're drinking and you know you don't want to drink, but the peer pressure, which doesn't stop when you're a teen, is coming up. Adults are saying, well, why are you not drinking? Everybody else is drinking. Come on, don't be like that. Or you went to this person's house and they smoking weed and you know you don't want to smoke weed because your job might check and you want to be down. You like brandy. Oh, I want to be down. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and smoke a little bit. I don't want nobody to call me up. No, you don't have to do that. Okay. Let me tell you something. When you start drawing your boundaries, the people that you don't need to be around will start to leave because they will feel it. They'll be like, oh, I thought that I could just tell her what to do and she would do it. Now she ain't doing that. You see what I'm saying? So we have to put ourselves first. That's why the bloom and growth mindset is so important because it's going to deal with this trauma that you have inside of you that you've been filling up. You're constantly filling up that trauma tank by not having the boundaries. You're constantly filling up the trauma tank by not communicating with your loved ones and just snapping at them and just giving them so much anger. You have to be able to know how to communicate your thoughts and your feelings. And the only way you're going to be able to know how to do that is what? Bloom where you are planted. Okay. So I want to ask you this. Next slide, please. What if instead you can fill your dream tank instead of that trauma tank? God has blessed me with a way to guide Black women to bloom where they are planted, allowing them to find out who they are, making themselves a priority, and becoming their best selves in the process. So it's time for an experience now. Interactive, remember y'all, and thank y'all for dropping y'all numbers in the chat. I see them. I want you to think of the women who have impacted your life growing up. I want you to make a negative list in your mind and make a positive list. Doesn't have to be long, it could be 2 or 3 people on each side. And then I want you to think about what you picked up from them that has affected your life. And how can you change your life if you grew the positive attributes that you picked up? And what would happen if you let go of the negative attributes that you picked up? So I'm just going to give a little brief scenario. For me, my mother, that's That's a crazy relationship because I don't feel like she's a mom. I don't call her mommy or mom or anything. She told me I didn't have to, which I think is crazy. I think it's an honor to be called mother. And in dealing with her, I just feel like she's a lady that I've just known for a very long time. So what I picked up from her that was negative was fear, fear of having my own, fear of believing that I could do that. And if you understand, if you relate to me, drop a 4 in the chat, okay? Please, a 4. It took me a while to understand, oh, I can get my own apartment. I don't have to live with somebody else. Oh, I can buy my own car. I don't need to ask somebody else to be a co-signer. I can just discipline myself in the manner of saving, fixing my credit, and making sure I can get my own. I can actually buy a house and I don't have to wait for somebody else to buy one for me to say, oh, okay, I can do it. So that was something negative that I picked up from her that I had to let go of because I saw how much it was stunting me and my kids are watching. So if I don't show any growth, they're not going to show any growth. You understand what I'm saying? Something positive that I picked up from someone, there was a lady I used to work with that was a director at my job. She just saw something in me. She didn't have any kids, so people used to tease and say that I was her child. But she pushed me. I went from being her secretary to being given another position as a financial worker. I used to work on like food stamps and stuff. So she got me that position. She was like, "No, I know you can do it." And I was scared. I was like, "No, I don't know." She was like, "You can do it. You have a child now. You can do it." So she put me in that position, which led to me being a supervisor, which led to me continuously moving up. Then I started realizing I can go back to school and get a degree. I had an associate's degree for the longest, and then I went back to school to get a bachelor's, and now I'm in school for my master's degree. And I'm at a great job, the National Birth Equity Collaborative, where we are working to help Black mothers and Black babies thrive through different ways in the community. So if it wasn't for her with those positive attributes of believing in somebody, and she wasn't getting anything out of it, she just believed in me and said, I know I can help you, let me help. I picked that up and I ran with it. The amount of women that I help with my work is amazing because I know y'all deserve it. Next slide, please. I know y'all deserve to bloom where you are planted. I know you deserve to let go of some of those things that have been holding you back for the longest. You should not still be upset about a relationship that ended 10 years ago. No matter if he cheated on you and he's still with the person and you got to go over there and co-parent, that was not your fight, okay? You should not still be mad at that friend that stole your shirt or took money from you. That was not your fight. Sometimes what God does is he says, this is how much it's going to cost you to understand that this person is not supposed to be here. I tried to let you let them go. It didn't work that way. So now it's going to cost you something. It might cost you some time. It might cost you some money. It might cost you a material thing. But I'd rather let somebody go now instead of waiting until I get to my success and you disturb my peace. Because at the end of the day, with success comes peace. A lot of y'all so much y'all want to be successful, but y'all want to hold on to the drama, the gossip, the negativity. You have to let that go because there's going to be so many things that you have to do anyway, even if it's a family member. Let me tell you something. I don't talk to my mother like that because I realize that she's triggering for me. You know, if I talk to her, then it's like she needs me for something. Then I want to stop my life and help her because I feel like, oh, who else is going to help her? I should help a mother. No, a mother should help a child. So if you don't plant the seed in your child and let it grow, so when you need the shade of the tree is there, you're gonna burn. That's how I have to take it. So it is what it is. But even if it's a family member, it does not matter because we cannot give people roles in our lives just because they were born into them. It's not fair to you. Imagine allowing the molester to be able to be in your life and be around your kids. Can you imagine how much stress that will put on you? This person molested you when you were little. So now you don't trust them to be around your children. So every time they come around, you like this. And your partner's like, yo, babe, what's going on? Why are you like that every time your uncle come around? And you don't want to tell him. You living in shame and you living in embarrassment. This is affecting you. This is affecting you because you just can't let go. You have to let go. God has you at this conference today for a reason because you need to let go of these type of things. I'm telling you, it will burden your life beyond repair if you don't let it go. It's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die because you're mad at them and they don't even know. They live in their life. They probably forgot they did it to you. But when you say it out loud and you tell them, now you're letting that out. So I shared a lot of things with my mom that I was very upset about. And she had the nerve to say to me, "Oh, well, I was just about to talk to you about that," because she didn't know what else to say. You see what I'm saying? Yes, you let go and let God, Crystal. Yes, amen. Amen. You have to, because sometimes we just got to take that first step and God will do the rest. He's like, I can help you, but I can't do all the work. You know what I mean? It's just like having a baby. Yeah, we didn't want to push that sucker out, but God was like, this baby got to come out. So it's either you're going to push them out or I'm going to have a man go in and take it out for you. It has to happen. So I would rather for y'all to be able to work on yourselves and get that out instead of somebody else having to come and take it out for you. You understand what I'm saying? You don't want to be in a situation where there's a tense situation or an argument and then you say something out that you did not want to say in that manner and other people are around that you didn't want to be around. So this is why I ask these questions. Are you the rose that grew from concrete? Are you the one who just knew like life has just beat you up and just done so much to you and you're just like, you know what? I'm still here. I'm still making it. And for some reason, I know that God got a purpose for me to do things. If that is you, then you need to find what it is that you need to do and you need to make it happen. Because the way I'm talking to you all right now, and I am touching on points and I'm snatching them edges, is the same way that somebody else is waiting for you to walk in your purpose and touch them. That's the whole point. This is paying it forward. This is being able to let people get things out. So what I do with my mindset experiences, yes, been there, holding it in, it's so dangerous. Yes, it is. With my mindset experiences, like I said before, I empower you to bloom where you are planted. Start where you are, using what you have to get what you want because it is enough. It is definitely enough. We master learning how to save you. Yes, that's fighting that superwoman complex that was just mentioned. Okay. We know we always got that cape on, but you don't have to do that. No is a complete sentence. I'm going to leave y'all with that. No is a complete sentence. You don't have to say nothing else. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. I find ways to help you get unstuck, whether it's in your life or in your business. And I want you to also work on affirming that this is the time to become your best self. Next slide, please. So with that being said, just in case you just joined, I'm Latasha, also known as Mommy Morebucks. I help Black women balance their traumas by prioritizing and growing their dreams. I'm a mindset influencer that offers mindset experiences, accountability, support, and business strategy sessions. It's time to bloom where you are planted and start living the lifestyle you truly want and deserve. You are priority in your own life. Work on your confidence and acceptance, positivity and abundance, and recharge so you can become your best self. Thank y'all so much for y'all time today. This experience actually goes on even more, but I just wanted to give y'all just one point and one exercise so you will be able to fully understand what I do. I also offer one-on-one sessions where I have a deep discovery, a deep self-discovery dive where I would be able to speak with you and go in to really find out what it is that is ailing you. Okay? Because sometimes the best medicine is to talk. The best medicine is to find those people in your life that are support and allow them to come into that space for you and be those people that you need. Sometimes you can meet somebody and know them for a month and they're a better friend to you and are a better person to you than other people that you've known all your life. Yes, your edges are snatched. Oh. And I want to say, I did tell Brittany, for everybody who has registered for the conference, I am going to send out my Bloom and Growth Mindset workbook and worksheet. So y'all will have something to work on. It has affirmations and there's also a phone number in there so you will be able to text me because I text affirmations every week on Sundays. And I'm just so excited about it because the good thing is I text you and you can text me back and I can read them and we can talk. I want you all to follow me on Instagram. And if there are any questions, please type them now so I'll be able to give y'all a few minutes. But I'm just all about helping women to create these dream lifestyles. And Brittany was with us a couple of weeks ago. I had a retreat. It was what called the It's the Mindset for Me retreat. These shirts are available on my website, mommymorebucks.com. And it was so great because I treated the moms the way I wanted them to treat themselves. We had people come in and okay, I'm so glad I was able to speak to you. Yes, okay, SC in the house. But yeah, we had a chef come in. He did everything. We didn't have to cook. We didn't have to clean. I feel like my session of breakthrough is opening up. Yes, your season of breakthrough, right? Listen, and that's why you need to contact me so we can continue the journey. Thank you, thank you. I will hold your hand through it. I don't want none of y'all to be alone. I know what it feels like to be alone, you know? So, like I said, with the retreat, we went through the mindset experience. We had a virtual workshop. It's been amazing. And I'm telling y'all, this idea for this, it woke me up out of my sleep, the bloom and growth mindset. I was asleep and my husband was playing NBA 2K. And he said, "What you doing?" And I was like this. I felt like in Transformers when he just saw it, he started writing everything down. I was like, I got it. I got it. And this was back in January. And I believe in the bloom and growth mindset so much. And I believe that it's the mindset for me and should be the mindset for you so much that I have trademarked this. And I have trademarked Mommy Morebucks. I'm serious about what I do, and I continue to move forward to make sure that I can become an expert. I don't want to just be an enthusiast. And a lot of us are enthusiasts. We love stuff and we love to talk about it, but I want to be an expert in what I do so I can assist you with my expertise so you can be good at what you do. So if anybody needs to speak to me at any time about anything, hit me up in my DMs. I answer them myself. I'm getting good at reels, so I've been putting those up. Those are doing fairly well, and I'm just going to continue to grow. I'm going to have some new things coming out, but Brittany, like I said, I want everybody to get the Bloom and Growth Mindset workbook and worksheet, so we're going to blast that out to Brittany's email list. Thank y'all so much for your time. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you, Dr. Holden. Listen, you had me in here amped this morning. I was like, oh, we starting off like 10 o'clock in the morning? Okay, I have to make sure I told you that because I even had to make sure that my guest was on. I said, "You there?" She said, "Yes, I'm there." This is awesome. So this was so needed. I'm so grateful I was able to just share on this platform, and I look forward to seeing y'all soon.
Well, thank you for that. And I just love how each presenter has something that is complementary to the person before them, but yet expands our knowledge in a different way. I also want to encourage people to please take advantage of your introductory session. Sometimes we don't try things for, out of lack of knowledge or out of a little bit of hesitation. But please try these introductory sessions. Some of the things that you will find through speaking. I'm a component of mental health, especially for Black people, Black women. As she said, we take on the superwoman complex. We're doing everything except feeding into ourselves. And sometimes, as Mommy Morebucks will tell you, a lot of us are like, well, what's talking going to do? The talking to someone who is not judging you and who, as she said, doesn't want you to be alone in your life journey, even if that's in your thoughts and how you're feeling at that certain time. Sometimes even the people closest to you cannot understand those moments. When you speak to someone who understands and is with you in that journey, there are puzzle pieces that come together in your brain over a period of time that will connect things that are illuminating to your life, your purpose, and they will force change. I'm not doing this anymore. I can't do it anymore. This doesn't work. This doesn't serve me. I cannot continue to live like this. And that's what she is offering to us. And we all need that. We all need to change the boundaries and the walls of our lives from time to time. Please take advantage of that.
Make one more point before I go. I want people to also know when you have an experience with me, I don't leave you hanging. If I feel like you need to be referred to a doctor or something, I have people already on deck who are willing to speak to you. They'll give you a free consultation, and then they will decide from there if you're a good fit to work with them, or they will decide some suggestions for you on who you need to speak to. So I also want to say that too, because sometimes that can be scary to open up that Pandora's box of emotions, and then you're trying to figure out, so what do I do next? Like, now I want to beat my kids. No, we don't want that. We want you to get with someone who is professionally involved in expertise. And Dr. Holden, I want to pull you in on that too. But, we have you speak to people so that way you can continue your journey and just bloom where you are planted. Thank y'all so much.
Okay, so she said a lot there, y'all. She said free consultation. She said that she doesn't leave you hanging. And she also said people who have expertise. I'm sold.